Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And in this video here, I'm not only going to name the best quarterback in each NFL team's franchise history, but I'm also going to rank them. So the team who had the best quarterback ever in franchise history is first. The team who had the worst of all these is last. But of course, there's a lot that goes into it. So tenure with the team, of course, if a guy was on the team longer, he's a better chance to be near the top. So active quarterbacks, and I believe there's two on here that are still on the team that they made it with. They definitely have a chance to rise as the years go on. Quarterback can be on more than once. There's two quarterbacks who are listed for two different teams. And again, it's not an all-time ranking of quarterbacks. I'm only looking at their tenure with the franchise. So, for example, Peyton Manning, as outstanding as he was with the Colts, I'm only considering that and nothing that he did with the Broncos. But let's get into it. Each team's best starting quarterback, in my eyes, in franchise history, ranked. I'm going to go in descending order, starting with 32nd, the Arizona Cardinals, Kurt Warner. So Warner did guide the Cardinals to a Super Bowl. That season he finished 7th in MVP voting, but only started 57 games with the team and finished with an under 500 record, throwing for 100 touchdowns. Just not many guys to choose from. I thought about Carson Palmer. Guys like Jim Hart and Neil Lomax had longer tenures. I'm sure Cardinals fans hope Kyler Murray is the quarterback in the future. Let's see what happens there. 31st, the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson. Watson played just 4 seasons for the Texans. I'm not going to get into his off-the-field troubles, but went 28 and 25 as a starter, made 3 straight Pro Bowls from 2018 to 2020. 2020, he led the league in passing yards. 30th, Jacksonville Jaguars, Mark Brunell, another team where the active quarterback has a great chance of being on the list in the future, Trevor Lawrence. But Brunell went 63 and 54 as a starting quarterback with the Jaguars, led the league in passing yards in 1996 and made 3 Pro Bowls with the team. 29th, Tom Brady, Buccaneers. So the Buccaneers do not have a rich history of quarterback play, so Brady makes it despite playing just 3 years with the team. But in 2021, led the league with 5,316 passing yards and 43 passing touchdowns. And his first season with the team, 2020, helped guide them to a Super Bowl victory. 28th, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. Definitely a guy who could rise up the list if he stays with the team, that is. But in his 5 seasons, 45 and 16 record as a starting quarterback. 2019 was named the league's MVP. And in that 2019 season, set a NFL record by a quarterback with 1,206 rushing yards. 27th, Cam Newton, Carolina Panthers. Played 10 seasons with the team, helped lead the Panthers to a Super Bowl. 2011 was named the Offensive Rookie of the Year. 2015 was named the league's MVP, as well as the Offensive Player of the Year. 26th, we got who do we got? Kurt Warner again. I'm sorry. Kurt Warner again with the Rams. I actually had him higher, but I dropped him because he only made 50 starts with the Rams. But during his prime, 1999 and 2001 was named the league's MVP in both those seasons, finishing runner-up of Offensive Player of the Year both those seasons. Won a Super Bowl with the Rams. Again, just not long enough a tenure to be much higher on this list. 25th, Philadelphia Eagles, Donovan McNabb. McNabb played 11 seasons for the Eagles, going 92, 49, and 1 as a starter. 5 straight Pro Bowls from 2000 to 2004. The 2000 season finished as the runner-up for MVP. Then we got 24th, Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan was named the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year in the 2016 season for the Falcons. From 2011 to 2020, all those seasons he threw for at least 4,000 yards. 23rd, we have Ken Stabler with the now Las Vegas Raiders. He played for Oakland. 10 seasons, going 69, 26, and 1 as a starter. led the league in completion percentage twice, passing touchdowns twice, was named the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. In 1974, also won a Super Bowl with the Raiders. 22nd, Phillip Rivers, and this was really a close call between him and Dan Fouts. I went Rivers, played 16 seasons with the Chargers, named to 8 Pro Bowls. Led the league in passing yards once, touchdowns once, completion percentage once, threw for 59,271 yards and 397 touchdowns with the Chargers. 21st, Ken Anderson, Cincinnati Bengals, played his whole career with the Bengals, named the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year in 1981, went 91-81 as a starter, 32,838 yards, led the league in yards twice, completion percentage 3 times, and passer rating 4 times in his career. 20th, Joe Namath, New York Jets. Some may consider that low. I think he's a tad overrated in history, but he's still a deserving Hall of Fame quarterback, don't get me wrong. Was named AFL Player of the Year in 1968, finished third in MVP voting in 1972, led the league in yards 3 times, touchdowns once, and helped guide the Jets to arguably the biggest upset in Super Bowl history in Super Bowl III. 19th, Warren Moon, Tennessee Titans, but he only played for the Houston Oilers. Played for the Oilers from 84 to 93. Led the league in yards twice, passing touchdowns once. Was named Offensive Player of the Year in 1990. Had MVP finishes of 3rd, 5th, and 6th in his time with the Oilers. 18th, Bobby Layne, Detroit Lions. Played a long time ago, but went 53, 29, and 2 as a starter. Led the league in passing yards twice, completion percentage once, touchdowns once. Finished 3rd in MVP voting twice, 2nd once, 4th once. Led the Lions to 3 championships. 17th, Eli Manning, New York Giants. Played his whole career with the Giants. Won 2 Super Bowls. Was named Super Bowl MVP for both of them, which helps him rise up this list. 57,023 yards, 366 passing touchdowns, all in his career. 16th, Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks. Don't let his last season with Denver fool you. He was a great quarterback with the Seahawks, made the Pro Bowl 9 of his 10 seasons with Seattle, helped lead him to a Super Bowl, had Offensive Player of the Year finishes of 3rd, 4th, and 4th, led the league in passing touchdowns in 2017. 15th, Jim Kelly, Buffalo Bills. Can Josh Allen ever eventually surpass him? Time will tell. Kelly played his whole career with the Bills, going 101-59 as a starter. Helped guide the Bills to 4 Super Bowls. Unfortunately, they lost all 4 of them, but had MVP finishes of 2nd and 5th. Led the league in completion percentage once, touchdowns once, and passer rating once. 14th, Fran Tarkenton, Minnesota Vikings. Played 13 seasons for the Vikings, throwing for 33,098 yards, 239 touchdowns. Was named the MVP in 1975 with the Vikings. Led the league in passing yards once, completion percentage once, and passing touchdowns once with Minnesota. 13th, Sid Luckman, Chicago Bears. Another guy who played way back in the day. Bears have been looking for another stellar quarterback since Sid Luckman, but Luckman was named All-Pro First Team 5 times in his career. Led the league in passing yards 3 times, touchdowns 3 times, and rating 3 times in his career. 12th, Sammy Baugh, Washington Commanders, was the Redskins back when he played. Another old-timer, played all 16 of his seasons with the Washington franchise. Led the league in completion percentage 8 times, yards 4 times, passing touchdowns twice, rating 3 times. 11th, and expected to continuously move up, Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs. Again, I fully expect them to move up quick. Before this season, I might have considered a toss-up between him and Len Dawson, but after last season, another Super Bowl, another MVP, had to give the nod to Mahomes. In just 6 seasons, 64-16 as a starter, 2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowl wins, led the league in passing yards last season, passing touchdowns twice, Career rating of 105.7 and 303 passing yards per game in his career. 10th, Terry Bradshaw, Pittsburgh Steelers. Played his whole career with the Steelers. 14 seasons, won 4 Super Bowls, 1978 MVP, led league in passing touchdowns twice in his career, had a 107-51 record as a starter and 14-5 in the playoffs. 9th, Rodgers, Staubach, Dallas Cowboys. Staubach played all 11 of his seasons with the Cowboys. Led the league in passer rating 4 times in his career, was runner-up for MVP once, and won 2 Super Bowls, including the Super Bowl VI MVP. 8th, Otto Graham, Cleveland Browns, played a long time ago as well, but won 3 NFL championships, was a 4-time AAFC champion, led the league completion percentage 4 times, passing yards 5 times, rating 5 times, was the MVP in 1951, 1953, and 1955. 7th, Dan Marino, Miami Dolphins, played all 17 of his seasons with Miami, led the league in passing yards 5 times, rating once, was the MVP in his second season, and Offensive Player of the Year. What an historic season that was, 1984. If we go by era, maybe one of the greatest seasons ever, if not the best. 5,084 passing yards, 48 touchdowns, and a 108.9 rating. 6th, Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints, played his final 15 seasons with the Saints, going 142-86 as a starter. Twice was Offensive Player of the Year. Finished runner-up for MVP 3 times. Led the league in passing yards 7 times. Completion percentage 6 times. Rating twice. Helped lead the Saints to a Super Bowl victory. Top 5. 5th, Aaron Rodgers, Packers. Man, hard to choose between him, Brett Favre, and Bart Starr. But Rodgers, let's see if he plays for him next season. Highly rumored to go to the Jets. But has been the team's regular starter since 2008. Has won 4 MVPs in his career. Led the league in passing touchdowns twice. Rating 4 times. Career 103.6 rating. Does have a Super Bowl win. And more than a 4-to-1 passing touchdown to interception ratio. 4th, John Elway, Denver Broncos, won the Super Bowl in each of his last 2 seasons with the team, after making 3 other appearances. 148, 82, and 1 as a starter. Was named the MVP in 1987. Led the league in passing yards in 1993. Also had MVP finishes 2nd, 4th, and 5th in his historic career. 3rd, Peyton Manning, Colts. Yes, he had a very good tenure with Denver to end his career for 4 seasons, but still played 13 seasons with the Colts, winning 4 MVPs, a Super Bowl, led the league in passer rating 3 times, yards twice, passing touchdowns 3 times, and went 141-67 as a starter with 399 passing touchdowns. 2nd, Joe Cool, Joe Montana, 49ers. Montana played 13 seasons with the 49ers, going 139 as a starter. His last 2 1989 and 1990 was named MVP. Also finished 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th. Montana won 4 Super Bowls with the 49ers and was named Super Bowl MVP in 3 of those. Had an excellent mark of 14-5 in the playoffs with San Francisco. Of course, we know who number 1 is. Tom Brady with the New England Patriots. Brady played 20 seasons with the Patriots, going 219-64. I could go on for days about his accolades, but won 6 Super Bowls with the team, 3 MVPs, led the league in passing yards 3 times, rating twice. With New England, had a 219-64 record, 74,571 passing yards, 541 touchdowns, a 97 rating. Tom Brady, obvious choice to lead the way. But there you have it. Each team's best quarterback in franchise history, power ranked. Of course, it goes by their tenure with the team. Not an easy endeavor. Some teams hard to choose a quarterback. So let me know in the comments if you would choose a different quarterback for one of the teams. If you think I did not rate one of the guys properly, where you would put them, let me know in the comments. But this was a lot of fun to do. Maybe I'll do it for other positions, running back, wide receiver. We'll see. But again, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.